Okay, the purpose of this video is for you to see if you did the 5B handout correctly. And so what I would suggest is that you go to the end of the video to see the solution. And then if you got it all right, then you don't need to watch the video. But if you missed anything, then it would be good to go back through the video and kind of find out the area or areas where you didn't do it correctly and find out why. And so that's kind of the idea of this. So let's go ahead and get started on this. Remember that the main method is where a program always starts. You'll notice that we have the dog method, you have the main method, the kangaroo, and the cat method, and it doesn't matter what order these are in. This program will do the exact same thing because the compiler always starts with the main method. So that's the first line that is compiled. The next line is line 11, and then I think what we're going to do is just go through the numbering first, which is what I suggested, and then we have 3, which is just a print statement, and then we have 4, and what you see is parentheses preceded by a name, so you know that you have a method call. A method call is a landmark that says you need to execute the cat method, or from method call to method header is a saying that you could use. And so you're going to go from the method call to the method header. And so this is going to be 5. And then you compile, or then you go to the print statement, the body, and then you have another landmark, end of method, return to method call. End of method, return to method call. And so then you go back up to here, and sometimes there's something to do, and sometimes there's nothing to do when you return. In this case, there is nothing to do, so we go on to the next line. So just go to the next line down. So now we're at 8. But you should see the landmark again. You have parentheses preceded by a name. You've got a method call. So you go from method call to method header. Okay, so from method call to method header. And so now we're going to go down to kangaroo, which is 9. And then we do 10 and 11 and 12. And so now we have another landmark again, end of method, return to method call. So 13 is going to be back to the method call, which is this one. Okay, then we go to the next line down, and then we go to the next line down, and then you see your landmark again. You see parentheses preceded by a name, and so this is a method call. So from method call to method header, so 16 is going to be the dog method header. So we go to 16, or go 16, and then we go then to the next. We go into the body of the method. Now we're at the landmark, end of method, return to method call, and so we go from go to the when dog was called, and that's going to be 18, and then we go to the next line down. And then you have your final landmark, which is the end of the main method. So that is end of main, end of program. End of main, end of program. All right, so that's how the numbering goes. So as I suggested, especially if you're struggling with this, that you go through and put the order, do the order first. And then you can go back and you don't have to think about the order and the memory locations and the output all at the same time. So now we're going to go and do the memory locations and the output. And so the first line 2 has num2, and so what I suggest also is that you look at your methods as boxes. So you cannot see from one box to the next. So this is why we can't call the num2 variable from the kangaroo method because it's in a box that can't be seen by other methods. So we have num2 is declared reserved memory location reserved, and it's stored to 25 in it. Then it prints apple is the number 3, and then it goes on to number 4, which is the method call cat. And so we go to cat, so we go 4 and then 5. This is the cat method is executed according to this line 4. So we go to the cat method and we print orange. All right, and then you have we've already gone through the numbering, so we just have to follow the numbering. So there's 6, then 7 is return to method call. Nothing to do there, so we go on to 8. So now we have a declaration of the amount or the AMT memory location. So we declare that in here. You have the method call here, so which means to execute the kangaroo method. And we have num2, which is a variable call first, and so it's called the return value of num2. This is not a good 2 here. It's kind of hard to write with this. I need to get something better. But the return value of num2 is 25. But this is not just a variable call. It is an argument, and arguments get passed from the method call to the parameter variable in the method header of the called method. And so that's important. So now we're going to go and execute the kangaroo method and pass the 25 at the same time. And so now in line 9, the kangaroo method, then the declaration of the kangaroo method, we have the data type and variable, which means we need to set up a memory location. Its purpose is to receive the passing of that argument. So this is a parameter variable, and it receives the argument 25, the value of that argument. All right, so now 25 has been passed from the main method to the kangaroo method because we cannot call the num2 variable. Can't do a variable call, but we can do a method call. So now N2 is within the boundaries of the kangaroo method, so it can't be seen by any other method. And we're going to, the first thing in the kangaroo method is to print peach. And then the next thing is to set up another memory location. So new num within the boundaries of the kangaroo method. And we're going to assign it whatever N2 divided by 7 is. N2 is a variable call, and so we're going to take 25. The return value of N2 is 25 right here. And so we're going to 25 divided by 7 in Java math. Int divided by an int is an int, so you use the calculator, drop the decimal, it's a 3. So then the next line is a return statement. And so the new num is a variable call, so and that return value is 3 because that's the value of new num. And it's, now you read it without the variable, you go return 3. So that means when we get to this landmark, end of method, return to method call, we're adding something. End of method, return to method call with the 3. We're returning, it's like you're picking up and taking that 3 with you as you return to the method call. And so we go back to the method call, which is right here. This is the kangaroo method. So we go back to the kangaroo method and we take the 3 with us. So the 25 here is over the num2 because that's the return value of num2. We put the 3 over the kangaroo, the name of the method, because that's the return value of the method. And just a side note here is you notice here this doesn't say void, it says int because this is the return type. This is the data type of the return value. The return value, you notice, is new num, is found in new num, and new num is an int. So that has to be the same. Anyways, as we go back up here, now the return value is 3. Well, so now you read this without the method call. Int amount is assigned 3. So AMT is assigned 3. All right, now we go from 13 to 14. So we print banana. And then we go on to 15, which is a method call. So we execute the dog method. That's what this does, is executes the dog method. So 16, we have pair. It's going to be in the body of the method. That's its instruction that it's carrying out. And so now we print a pair. 17, return to method call. 18 is right here. Nothing to do there. And then we go to 19, which is to print AMT, which is a variable call. And the variable call's value is 3, the return value. So 3 mangoes. All right, so if you got this right, excellent. And so there you go. That's how this works. And then, of course, you have the end of method, end of main, end of program. And that's it.